live on IWTV. Please welcome the one called Manders.
What's up, Val? How are you? Thanks for having me on.
Fantastic. Thank you for agreeing to come and hang out with me and let me ask you a bunch of random questions and agreeing to do this.
I like to talk bullshit, so that's cool. So am I getting pancakes? How's this work? Do I get you need my address and then like you mail it over, or how's this go?
I mean, I suppose I can send you you know how you can get like coupons for things? Like I can send you a coupon for pancakes with me at SCI if you want.
Just buy me pancakes at Waffle House when we're down there at the time. That'll work for me.
I don't think you can get pancakes at Waffle House.
Oh, you can get waffles, I guess. Close enough. Jesus, I sounded real dumb there. That works.
I'm saying though. I'm just finding out that you're a waffle person, and I'm not sure how I feel about that.
I like Waffle House. I don't prefer waffles. I like food, dude. I'm fat. I just like it doesn't matter to me. So
dude,
yeah, food. That's all I want. So
dude, I'm a total fat girl, so I totally feel that.
Yeah, I like food. So
so what was a young Manders like?
A young Manders like?
Yeah.
Like how young we talking? We talking
like as a kid? Were you like a rambunctious kid or? Yeah.
I was very active in sports. I was very football, baseball, lacrosse / like wrestling. I was very did a lot of sports. Super into pro wrestling. Loved cartoons. Oh, just your basic kid. I get in trouble here and there when I was younger. I don't know if I was rambunctious though, but maybe ask my mom on that one. I don't know. Yeah.
Okay.
He had hair. I tell you that. He had nice curly hair. A young Manders had nice curly hair. So I miss that. So.
Aww.
It's fine. I think it works.
So how did you decide to pursue wrestling?
I didn't want a regular job 9 to 5, so I figured after football I'll just do wrestling. No, I'm just kidding. I was done with football, right? Like I was like coming in my senior year at Iowa, and everybody knew I was a big wrestling fan because around 2015 is when I got back into it. Like when like Sting, I think that's 2015, right? When like Sting came back to WWE, or he came back to wrestling and then went to WWE. It was like 2015, I think, somewhere around there.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
It's when it was good, and that's when like the network launched and all that stuff. So like all that stuff was happening and it sparked my interests again. So I was watching a lot of old like WCW, ECW, WWF, all that good stuff. And so where I'm getting at is a lot of the football boys watched me watch wrestling, or they'd watch wrestling with me and all that stuff. The famous one is like George Kittle, right? And my strength coach at the time was like super into he was into wrestling too. So he knew we were like I was a wrestling fan, all that stuff. And he basically said like one day it was like the end of my junior year, I finished my finals or whatever, and he was telling me how, Big E, Tori Ewan's gonna be in town because he went to the University of Iowa. And he was like, how about you come meet him or whatever? And I was like, no shit, all right, I guess I'll do that. Yeah, like that's cool. Like totally gotta do that. So I was like marking out. And then I I get to the thing, I get to the weight room, and there's this super jacked black dude, right? Like, and it's Big E. And he was the nicest guy ever. He was super cool. He saw my interest like severely. And he was telling me about how there's a wrestling school in Davenport, Iowa named the Black and the Brave. And I'm sure everybody knows who that is. That's Seth Rollins and Merrick Brave, or Tyler Black when he was on the Indies. And after I heard that, man, like it kind of got the ball rolling. And then I just said, I'm the one thing about Manders is a doer. Like he's down to do anything if he's into it. Like he's never like I don't know if I want to do that. It's either I do it or I don't. And I totally did it and went for it, and then here we are.
So, what was one of the most important things you learned while training?
Um, oh God, I can't name a particular thing. Because there's like a bunch of stuff, right? Um, I think like besides all like the psychology and how to actually like do moves, like all that stuff, like how to like properly do moves and figuring out ring psychology, cutting a promo, using facials and all that kind of stuff. I think the best thing I learned out of all of it was how to talk to people. I mean, I know it takes more than them teaching you that, but like they really emphasized on like how important it is to meet people and like how to set up a ring and tear it down and meet people and make connections and so forth. And a lot of that comes within you, but I think me being a really like a hard worker and like being a walk on at Iowa and like that style of being like I gotta like do the work in order to get the reward and them influencing me and doing that, I think it made me I think that's probably the biggest thing I learned out of them, I would say. Because they used to tell stories, right? They would tell stories about how what's the great TPI tournament, 2002 or 2004, I forget. I think it's 04, right? Where it's like all the greats, it's like AJ and Cesaro and Samoa Joe, Brian Danielson. It's like the greatest tournament in independent wrestling. And it was in like Midland or Highland, Indiana, or whatever. I said Midland. It's a great country band. Anyway, if anybody has never listened to Midland, go listen to Midland. They're like my favorite right now. Me and Brittany Sinclair have been like we listen to Midland a lot. But anyway, so um, where was I getting at? Oh yeah, they went to TPI. This is like before they were ever trained by Dandy Daniels. Um, they had talked about how they were like, it's like 16-year-old kids and they went to the show. They're not even booked on the show or even trained yet, but they helped set up the ring and tear it down. So it's just like those little things like that, I think like makes it cool. So it makes you think like, oh, okay, well, they did it, so I'll do it. And you just take it to heart because that's another thing about Manders. He takes a lot of things at heart and he's a doer. So
Nice. So
yeah,
you're a doer. So what?
for sure.
So other than wrestling, like what other things like would you say like make you a doer?
Um, like I might break kayfabe here. I don't really give a shit. I was like my whole life I always anything I dreamed of and wanted to ever be, I kind of did it, and it didn't matter how far it would take or where I'd go or what I'd do to do it. Like I was born and raised in Maryland. I'm not a full like born blooded Iowan, right? Um, and what got me out here in the Midwest was like playing football, and like I wasn't like I wasn't like the most athletic or most gifted athlete on the football world in high school. I was all state, like I was good, but you know I was persistent, and where if I didn't do certain camps or certain things, like I never would have been able to be where I am. Like I guess where I'm getting at is like what makes me a doer is like I think there's this old saying I learned from my coach in prep school. I went to this prep school called Fork Union Military Academy, and they got like legendary football players and legendary basketball players like Vinny Testaverde and like Eddie George. They all went there, and it's in like bumfuck Virginia. And the line that they gave me, that guy was my coach. He said, Coach Schumann, that was his name. He goes, It takes zero God-given ability to give attitude and effort. Don't ever forget that. So like it like made me think and wonder because it's like, yeah, like hard work beats talent when talent doesn't want to work hard, but what happens, when talent works hard and all that stuff. And when you have all that, and then you also add the takes, zero God given ability to give attitude and effort, I feel like that makes you a doer, makes you do things because of your resilience, your mentality. It's all in your head, like the mind games you play, the fear that you have, like all that kind of stuff. And me, driving 15 hours away from home, not knowing a single soul out here. It's kind of scary if you think about it. And you try to make friends that way and you make connections. I feel like me doing that and um, probably some dumb country redneck shit that I've done too makes me do that too. And then I think, me doing the wrestling, which everybody tells you, yeah, God, like, you're stupid, you shouldn't do that, or they did the same thing in football, or anything. Everybody doubts you, right? So if you believe in yourself and you want to do it, do it. So I think that's what makes me do it.
I like that.
I know that was a big ramble or whatever, but the quote is, it takes zero God-given ability to give attitude and effort. That's where I was getting at. It's the greatest line I ever heard.
That if that's the only takeaway that people take away from this interview.
Yeah, take that one. That line.
Take that, put it in your pocket.
With some syrup on it.
Yeah, make it real sweet.
Make it real sweet.
So, who has had the most influence on you, both in and out of wrestling?
Are we talking like wrestlers? Or are we talking like somebody I watch, or just anything?
Yeah, somebody in your life that's been hugely influential on you, like I said, either in wrestling, out of wrestling, or both.
Oh shit. That's a good question, because there's a lot of people that have influenced me. So, like, if I had to pick one,
you can pick two.
Can I pick two?
You can pick as many as you want. Really, there's no limit.
I mean, I think my mom, I would say, like, she's always been fully supportive, even when times of, some things might be a little crazy. Like maybe the most recent one is like me doing death matches. She's not a fan of it, but I think she gets it. Brittany might have to calm her down here and there and all that good stuff, but I'd say my mom, like, maybe not like I mean, yeah, you know what? No, I would say an influence. Like my mom was a teenage mom, and like, she wasn't graduated, like from college. She doesn't have a good degree, but she makes a good living, and did everything she literally was at the bottom of the barrel and worked her way up. I think that's pretty cool. I would say too, for wrestling, I'd say like, like Merrick Brave. Um, he's a guy that, like, he gets it right. He's been on the indies, and he's seen the top of the game, like all that kind of stuff. Um, he always asks me how like shows go and all that good stuff. I think that's pretty helpful, and it's also cool. I'm trying to think, because there's like so many, like there's like small increments of like people that like led to this point, like in wrestling, right? Like it's like Merrick Brave helped me out a lot. Like Sammy Callahan helped me out a lot. Like Chris Dickinson helps me out a lot. Like just like when we talk about like Japanese wrestling, like understanding it. Um, like Homicide, like when I wrestled Homicide, like ever since I wrestled him, like a couple years back, like ever since then, like I always like it. We made that connection of like just talking about stuff and like moving forward, moving not, all that good stuff. Yeah, I would say those people. I'd say my stepdad. His nickname's Stretch. He's like 6'10". Uh, he's like everything a man should be. If that makes any sense.
Aw.
Um, just like sweet, humble, but also would whoop your ass. Um, he's gritty, works hard. He's an entrepreneur, stuff like that. So I'd say those people for sure. Yeah.
So, what has been your greatest achievement in wrestling? And that can be either like a title, or if you've had like a really good match or opponent, or somewhere that you've worked. What would you say at this point, up to this point, would be your greatest achievement?
Huh. If I had a, I don't know if it's my greatest achievement, but it made me realize like, like we're onto something here. Like maybe like I believe I can believe in myself, and it's actually the Actions Future Showcase tournament. I think that in 2019 like made me believe like, hey man, here's the hard work that's paid off, all the miles, all the drive and the sleepless nights, literally sleeping in your car, setting up rings, tearing them down, making sure like you're like the number one, like, hey man, like look how hard I'm working. Like I made sure of that every show I was at, like when I wasn't booked. And like being in that Southern tournament, that's like a big deal, and like that being a thing, and winning it, and like getting that medal, and like taking that photo with Marco, and like Action, Matt and Scott and all those guys. Like I think that made me realize like, hey, like I can be something. I guess it gave me that validation, like, hey, the proof's in the pudding, just keep going. So I would say that probably. But I think other than that, like I think like greatest achievement wise, yeah, I would say that. I'd say that for sure. And just being able to wrestle and like do it. Like I made a tweet the other day. I thought it was kind of cool. Some of the bills I had to pay. Not that I've never done it before. I've there's been some times I've done it, but like I don't know, for some reason the other day, like I paid like a lot of money, like all like basically like three-fourths of my bills, like straight with wrestling money. And I thought that was kind of cool, where I was like, holy shit, it's not like the cliche, sarcastic, like, hey, living the dream. So I thought that was kind of cool. So maybe those two things I'd say are the greatest achievements for sure.
So we were kind of talking about futures, and you're going to be an SCI.
Yeah,
So getting to SCI, I believe you have Alex Kane first round.
I do. MLW superstar, man.
So I know that he's kind of the suplex guy. So
Yeah,
how
good
do you
luck
plan on
picking up a
avoiding?
255-pound man. I mean, I'm not saying he couldn't. I've seen this guy suplex like Logan Creed and like O'Shea Edwards, and he even suplexed me and pinned me last time we wrestled at Action. So yeah, man. I guess I don't think he's been wrestling very long, right?
Yeah, I think he's relatively new.
Yeah, like he's pretty new. He's got an amateur background, so he's like a legit badass. Um, uh, I don't know, man. Maybe play some mind games with them, see how like the pressure is. Um, it's one thing when you do a four-way, but it's a whole another thing to do when you're in a singles match. And yeah, no, I've watched his stuff. I think I think Alex Kane is pretty good. He's a young kid. He's strong. Um, he's even actually like pretty like athletic too. So I'm looking forward to it. But I feel like the things I've seen, the things I've done, uh, things I've been around, some of the craziest shit, and some big matches. Um, I guess we'll put the pressure on him and see what happens. But yeah, yeah, yeah. No, he suplexes a lot. That's for sure.
So when you get past Alex in the first round, who do you look forward to meeting in round two?
Um, I don't know. Like I was shocked I was wrestling. Alex came the first round. But I mean, honestly, Val, to be really honest with you, I don't give a flying ass, like rat's ass. I don't give a damn. Like it doesn't really matter who it is. I've stepped foot with some of the baddest MFers in all of pro wrestling, and yeah, so let's go. It doesn't really matter. I guess if I had to pick one though, it would totally be cool if I wrestled Derek Neal. It'd be sweet to wrestle Derek Neal because he's been a real piece of work. He's been a little thorn on my side as of late. He's been like costing me, costing the Bone Storm Championship. He cost me that 4-way. Keeps costing me in this stuff, and it's really been pissing me off. And this dude thinks he's all big, bad, high and mighty, and he thinks he's a real man. But real men don't be cowards like that. So, um, I think that'd be cool to go toe to toe and we'll possess. That'd be great.
I think that would be a fun match to watch. So
Yeah, I think it would too.
fingers crossed.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
So I know that you were in the Haas tournament this year with New South, and you were
Yeah, it
in the tournament.
was.
You were in the tournament of survival for GCW, and now you're in the SCI tournament. So tournament guy now.
Yeah, a little bit, right? Like this weekend, I'm at the Hall of Fame tournament too for Dan Gable. That's kind of cool. And yeah, I did the TOS. I did all the yeah.
so how do these tournaments compare to a regular show, and like how do you change how you prepare for them?
Um, I think they're definitely harder, right? Like, you have less time to prepare. Like, let's say, like, um, you could wrestle multiple times in a show or on a day, and normally you wrestle only once, in a day. Uh, yeah, so I would say that's the difference. Also, too, like let's say like you win let's say you win night one, first round, and then the second round, or the second show you're in the second round, but then if you win again, now you're in the third round, in the same like time frame. So I think like that kind of stuff, like you have less hour to prepare. Like we have like maybe a week or a day to prepare for your opponent, but yeah, it's kind of like any given Sunday or any given show or whatever you want to call it. Um, I'd say that's the difference for sure. Body takes a toll in tournaments.
Is there more like strategy, like hope to win the first round really fast so that you can get to the second round, or
Oh yeah, I totally always think there's strategy, right? Because there's people that do different styles, and you have to like do it a certain way or a different way. So I think that's the thing. Also too, you got to be like on the cusp of like believing in your abilities and you know thinking like me, like I think I'm tougher than the rest, so I can go through anybody. So I think you have to believe in yourself too a little bit. So it's like a you have to have strategy, but also too you have to just go off the rip, I think.
so mentioned briefly just here tournament of survival, but you also mentioned a little bit doing death matches. How did you and why did you get into the death match circle?
How and why? Is that what you said?
Yeah, because to me that doesn't look like a fun time to do. Grant, I love watching death matches, but
Yeah.
not, you know.
I don't know. Death matches are pretty hot right now, right? It seems. Um, I mean, like, I'm not gonna deny you. I mean, it's a little bit of that for sure. Like, a lot of people are doing them, and then, I feel like but I also think too, I have a high tolerance of pain, and I want to be a versatile wrestler, and I think like, yeah, I think my pain tolerance is a little different, and maybe it's some influences of Mance, maybe some influences of of that nature. But uh, I don't know. I was
SGC
always
rub.
intrigued. A little SGC rub. Oh, Manson, baby. Um, I think a lot of it too, though, is its influences. Like when I was younger, when I was like a teen, when I was about like, because I stopped watching wrestling when I was like 17, 18, till about I was like 21, 22. So there's like a few years I stopped watching, um, like a couple years because I was too busy hanging out with girls and trying to play football and all that bullshit. And anyway, that's a different story. But
We might get there yet, but
yeah, we might get there, but not yet. No, like you used to watch old YouTube videos of like IWA Mid South and CZW and just stuff like that. And I was always intrigued by like watching it, right? Like you said, like it's intriguing. Like it's like, well, this is crazy. Like what is all this? And just like remember watching ECW and then remember WWF, like the Hell in the Cells and like the violence and all that kind of stuff. So I think a little bit of all that puts into play, and um, you see great legends like Nick Gage, man, and how cool he is, and I think it's just a combo of all that stuff. I think it's just a combo of everything. I was intrigued by it. I always wanted to get into it, but I didn't know how to get into it. And then my first match was against AJ at No Peace, and um, I just said fuck it. I guess I'm doing it, and learning from tricks from Tremont and being in the car with him at SCI. That's where I like was like hearing how like his point of view on it and all that stuff. And the legends like Terry Funk and Onita and Cactus Jack and just like stuff like that. So, and I always feel like wrestling, believe it or not, I think wrestling like blood and rat huge part of wrestling historically. When you watch the greats like Dusty Rhodes and NWA and Mid South, that gloomy, musty, like lights, and they're fighting their ass off, and then they're bleeding, and it's like sympathetic, and it's like exhilarating, and I don't know. I think it's just a mix of all that kind of stuff. Like there's a time and place for it for sure, but I think I think it's all of that.
so
Hopefully that was a
moving
good answer for you.
works for me.
Yeah. Okay.
So moving on, what are some of your favorite like what's your favorite like hype and road music? Like what music do you listen to before a show that like
Oh God,
gets you
it's so
going?
many things. It's so many things. It basically it's country at first, and then um there's like it's like a progression. So it's like standard country music, right? And then it's like outlaw country music, and then it's like Leonard Skinner and like southern rock. And then by the time we get to the show, it's like heavy metal and like Pantera, Metallica, like all that kind of stuff. So like as we get closer, it like progresses into like super aggressive music.
So what would you say is the most surprising like either playlist that you have or music that you like or song that you listen to? Like what's something that people would be
Oh,
like, I would never guess you would listen to that.
I'm a huge Tupac fan.
Hmm.
Huge Tupac
Yep,
fan.
that'd be one of them.
I think Tupac's great. Uh, yeah. I don't. I guess on the other spectrum, like I think like Slayer or like um any of that like crazy metal stuff is probably like maybe surprising. Um, yeah, I'll just give those two.
So what are your favorite road snacks?
For me, it's always I love Red Man or like some type of chew as I drive. It's probably not good for my teeth, but whatever. Um, I brush my teeth regularly, so I think it's pretty good. It's always coffee. So there's like a ritual. So it's always like a slice of Casey's pizza in the morning, which if you guys haven't had that, totally have it. It's
Casey's
fucking
Pizza.
fire. Oh God, it's so good. You get it. You know what I'm saying.
Yeah, you're
Um,
always like my go-to when
it's
people ask me about Casey's Pizza. I'm like,
it,
no,
yeah,
Manders
it's
knows.
fucking amazing. Either like the bacon or sausage is good. Sometimes they do like the country gravy as the sauce. It's kind of good. I always think like one slice is enough because it's basically like two slices. It's really a big slice. Like I get that, and then like I'll get a bottle of water or like a Gatorade Zero, and then I'll get like a big ass coffee, like a Casey's coffee, and then I'll get like some Red Man or like some like either Copenhagen of sorts or whatever. I only do Copenhagen pouches. So it's like I eat that, I'll drink some water, I'll drink the coffee, and then when I'm done with the coffee, then I put a chew in. Then it's like a super boost. And then I'd say that's like the go-to ritual, like every time. Um, if they don't have breakfast pizza, I just kind of just I'll go eat like a Slim Jim or something. Or as of late, I've kind of cut out the Casey's pizza. I'm trying to eat a little better. I've lost like 8 pounds, so I don't know. Just trying something different.
Nah, I feel you.
Yeah,
Sometimes you gotta make changes and see how it feels and see what happens.
yeah. Like, oh,
So who do you put in your wrestle car? Like who are your like go-to road buddies?
oh shit. As of late, it's like me, this guy named Damien Saint, which
Mm,
you know about. Yeah, the heretic.
unfortunately, yes.
Um, Unfortunately, yes, he's all right. Um,
I like to give him a hard time.
either them two, either him. Yeah, it's been mostly really just him lately, and then a lot of like some of the black and bread kids will come in there and do stuff like Jay Marsden. He's the huntsman. He's been coming in the car too. Solomon Tupu, that's another guy. Conan Lycan, that's another guy. Um, Gunner Brave, that's another guy. It kind of like intertwines a little bit. Um, It used to be for a long time. It used to be me and Ben Carter. We were the guys from Iowa that would like go places a lot when Ben was on the Indies, or Nathan Frazier, whatever his name is now. Um, Shout out to Ben. What's up, man? How are you? I just was on the phone with him like a couple hours ago. That was like the guy, man. We used to always go places. It was a good time. Yeah.
So what is your favorite city to wrestle in?
It's not Atlantic City, I tell you that.
I feel like there's a story there.
Yeah, like I gotta drive 15 hours. It's awful. That's it.
That
That's
that's
it.
the
That's
story.
it. That's the story. Favorite? I like Nashville a lot. I thought the Basement East was really cool. That was probably like one of my favorite places. Or like LA's cool. Texas, Dallas was sweet. That Irving Arena, that was pretty fun. Um, I think Logan Square is cool. Marionette Park, like AAW. I think that's a good time. Um, I do like wrestling at in Worcester, the White Eagle Hall. It's just the White Eagle. White Eagle Hall's in the New Jersey, New York one. There's like two of them. Yeah, I think Beyond Sweet. Um, like because the crowds are so into it, and I would say Cleveland too. I think that Odeon is pretty dope too. There's a couple places. Those are like my favorite places, I would say.
So what is your favorite move to take and what is your favorite move to give?
I don't like taking any moves, Val. I don't want to take a bump at all. F that.
So
Um,
many people tell
I
me that,
don't know.
but
Yeah. I don't like want to take a move, Val. I don't know. There's not like a move that I want to take. I don't want to take anything. Favorite move? Probably. Gosh, I don't know. I think a clothesline. There's something about a clothesline. That's different than everything else, or a lariat or whatever you want to call it. That's like my favorite, I think. Like, of course, right? Cornbell Cowboy, of course, is Cowboy, of course, that's the lariat. I think the my favorite move besides that is the Oklahoma Stampede. I just call it a Iowa Stampede. I'd say that one. I'd say those two. Those are like two big ones.
pretty on brand for you.
Yeah, yeah.
So do you have any like pre-match rituals that you go through? Like something you do before every match or something that you wear every
I
match?
definitely, I definitely, I definitely put a lip in, like when I'm at the show too, which is probably not good for me, but I totally do that. Um, I always, I mean, I have like a warm up routine. Yeah, I always do. Like, it's basically like calisthenics of like a dynamic warm up of sorts. It like consists of like air squats and push ups and mountain climbers and high knees and butt kicks and jumping jacks. It's like all that kind of stuff. Um, yeah. Other than that, it's kind of it really. It's just those two things.
So who's been like
Gotta get
we're
warm, man. I'm not getting any younger, Val. You know, I'm not getting any younger. So I gotta have a warm up routine.
I know you're not that old.
I'm just saying I can't pull anything out there.
So who have been some of your favorite opponents over your many
Oh,
years of wrestling?
oh God. I mean, I think my favorite one was like uh, I wrestled Gage a couple times. That was pretty sick. Like just the energy that guy brings is so insane. It's like one of the greatest adrenaline rushes ever. Um, I would say homicide too. Just because he's a legend and it's like that hardcore, like, but also like brawler esque, like type of vibe. I think is really cool. Um, I'd say Tony Deppen too. Had some Tony Deppen matches that were like absolutely stellar. They were like one of my favorites. Um, uh, Dante Leone. He's a guy that's on the come up. He's been doing some GCWs with me too. We both came from the same place, Black and Brave, and we've had many SCW matches that no one's ever seen. That I wonder if like Brett or GCW ever booked it, they would like be mind blown how sweet it was. So maybe book that one, um, Brett. I guess the SEC boys, sadly, right? Like I don't like beating up my brothers and stuff, but it's definitely nice to like, get some aggression out when they piss you off of sorts, So yeah, I'd say that one as of late.
Yeah, from what I understand, the closer that you are to your opponent, the more you beat each other up. Is that
Oh
accurate?
yeah, like yeah, it's accurate. Like I like after Dallas, after that 4-way, I was absolutely bruised up. So bruised. It sucked. So yeah, no, that's the real freaking thing.
So if you had an action figure of yourself, but it was like one of those action figures that said phrases, what three phrases would you want it to say? And what accessory or accessories would it come with?
It's funny. There was a guy, Limitless, that made an action figure for me. That was kind of cool. That a couple years ago. Um, Obviously, I think the two catchphrases is, um, uh, like "Gee-hoo, it's the Cornbell Cowboy," oh God, you're making me like look funny. Or like I don't know, like hit another highway, another town, or like SGC, or like like something like that, or I don't know.
I think those are good.
Yeah, I think those three. I think those three would work.
And
Yeah.
then what accessories would it come with?
Um, you can have the bull rope or not, um, or the cowboy hat or not. Comes with the vest, right? And then, yeah, I'd say those accessories be a thing.
That makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah,
Yeah, I could see that.
yeah.
So, what's the weirdest request you've gotten from a fan as a wrestler?
My under gimmicks, my under gimmicks. Like not like my trunks, but my like underwear underneath it. That was probably the weirdest fucking thing I've ever had. That shit's whack, dude. I'm not into that. Like you can
I
order. Like I've had fans buy my trunks. Like that's actually a thing. Like, but like my under gimmicks though. Like, what are we doing with that? Like I don't know. Like the trunks. Like it's like memorabilia or like like my vest or something
yeah.
or I don't know. Yeah, but my under gimmicks. That's kind of weird. I mean, yeah, it's like me like asking for a girl for their panties. I don't know. I think that's weird. You know what I mean? Like if it's not my girls, like I don't know. It's just like it's not it's not a thing. It's like why are you asking? I don't know.
Well, I think, and I'm sure that why they're asking, and you just don't want
Oh
to
no,
travel
I
down
know
that
why.
path.
I
That's not
don't
a
want to.
path
I
you
don't
want to
want to.
walk.
Yeah, we can skip that one.
So,
Yeah, sadly, that's the thing.
you live in Iowa, so I know that you have to road trip to go pretty much anywhere. So you have to have some good travel stories. So what's like one of your best travel stories? It
Oh
can be like
God.
funny or exciting, something that was memorable to you, and you can go ahead and like make up any aliases you need to protect people so they're not embarrassed. Or you can embarrass them. I don't care. It's up to you.
Um, Shoot. I have plenty of road stories because I do drive a lot. Um, that's a tough one, Val. You're like putting it on pressure on me a little bit. Um, I don't know. I think a lot of it, like we just laugh and like talk bullshit and like say like the dumbest things. I think okay. There's one in my head that's popping. There's a lot though. I'm not gonna lie to you, but like one in particular. One time, this was my loop. One time in 2019, I drove from or not. I guess I was living in Davenport at the time. I was driving from Davenport to Kansas City on Thursday. I was at a Journey Pro show, so that's like 5 hours. So I drove all the way there. Boom, and then I drove all the way from there to home, Davenport. So that's a 10 hour round trip, and then I had freelance the next day. So I went from Journey Pro Kansas City all the way to Chicago for freelance, and then which is like another 3 or another 2 from Davenport. So it's really like I drove like 7 hours or whatever. And then after that, I had to drive from there all the way to SCI for Tank's Throwdown, Tank City's Throwdown or whatever it's called, a couple years ago. And on the way, it was Louisville or whatever, because it was in like Chattanooga somewhere. So on the way, though, I had to pick up Chris Dickinson. And then, like, literally, like, that was like the first time I ever met like Dickinson. Like I met Dickinson, seen him at shows, but that was like the first time I met him. Like in a car, having a legit conversation. We got like from Louisville to Chattanooga is probably like 4 or 5 hours maybe. So we got 4 or 5 hour car ride. So like that was like my trip was literally Journey Pro on Thursday, so that's 10 hours back. Then Chicago, and then the next night was Chattanooga. But on the way there, like it was just like the stories of like hardcore metal music because he's like a huge metalhead, and then just like some of the knowledge he was throwing down, just like of his experiences with like Evolve and like at Beyond or like GCW, like what's your like I think that was pretty cool, just like having that time. And then we went to where did we go? We went to Cracker Barrel, and like it was like here's this like New Yorker from like New York Giants, like super New York accent, hot temper, and he's just we're in Country Bumpkin, Tennessee at a Cracker Barrel, and he's just like loving every minute of it almost, but also shitting on it at the same time. I just thought it was the funniest shit ever. Just him just being like, getting his pancakes and he had like that country twang. I thought it was hilarious. That's like the one that comes into my head, I guess. There's a lot of stories though. Like one time, one time me, Mance, Justice, and AJ all drove together. We were going to Fargo, North Dakota for Time Bomb, and I was playing like Cody Jinks or some shit, and freaking AJ's like what the fuck is this shit, man? This is some like just he's just making fun of the music. I just thought it was funny, and then, Justice is being Justice and stuff like that. So yeah, there's plenty of stories for sure. I have too many. It sucks. They all like run together. I need to like figure out a way to single it out. Mini car rides to IWA. It's like another one. Just like you know, getting paid like 5-10 bucks to drive 6 hours and just
Uh,
talking about like, man, are we ever gonna like make any money here? Or are we gonna make any money anywhere? It just seemed like so far away. Um, yeah, that's one for sure.
so outside of wrestling, what other hobbies do you have?
Oh, I like sports obviously. Like I love football, I love baseball. I mean wrestling consists of my life pretty much. Besides work and stuff like that. I mean, but I love Western movies, obviously. Um, I love fishing. I love hunting. Um, I like going outside. I like going on hikes or trails or whatever. I guess there's no hikes in where we live, but the perk I always try to do is when I go to like shows and stuff, I make sure like I like visit like some sightseeing, whether it consists of like food or something historic. I think that's pretty cool too. Um, yeah, that's pretty much it. I like working
Like,
out too. I might not look like the most jacked wrestler ever, but I definitely like to work out. So
well, I mean, you have to be strong.
I also like to drink and eat too. So there's your there's your it all makes sense. So
Oh, fair enough. I
I play guitar.
appreciate.
I play guitar. I like playing guitar. Um, always big into that. So
Huh, I did not know that
yeah,
you played guitar.
yeah, I do. Maybe I should
Interesting.
like come as an entrance as that. Yeah,
Yeah, that would be really interesting.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Something different. So,
Yeah.
what would you tell a 10-year-old version of yourself? If you could go back in time knowing what you know now.
Um. Hey man, you should have done baseball or golf, dude. Don't be a wrestler or a football player. What is wrong with you? No, I'm kidding. Nah, man. Hey man, like you're doing it. You're still a little kid. Um, you're living your dream, man. Like it's cool. I think that's what I would say. Like, hey, man, we're doing it. You'd be proud of me. I
Aw.
think. Yeah.
So, a couple of kind of fun questions, and then we'll talk about what you have coming up. Um,
Sweet.
so what is the biggest animal that you could take in a fight with just your hands, no weapons, if they were attacking you?
Are you like asking me like what I've taken down, or are you asking me if I had to pick an
No,
animal, what would I take down?
yeah, out of all of the animals that you can think of in the world, if there was one attacking you, like what's the biggest animal that you think you could take in a fight?
Oh shit. And I had bear nothing.
Yeah, no weapons, just your hands.
Um, okay, so this is funny you say this, and I think this is a perfect time to say this. So me and MDK Mike have been talking about me fighting a kangaroo. Um, like the old like historic days, like them old guys that we like used to box like against a kangaroo.
Mhm.
Oh god, like it's totally a joke. I don't like really like want to like harm an animal in any fight unless I was like in a severe like life or death situation. But tongue in cheek being funny, it would totally be cool to to box a or fight or wrestle a kangaroo. I think I could whoop its ass, and if I can, I'll just hit a light tube with it. See what happens. No, I'm totally kidding. Um, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Like I've taken, I've like taken down like a dog or two, like, like as in like being aggressive or, like,
I mean, if you're being attacked.
yeah, I don't know. I really don't know, to be honest.
So,
But maybe
these are
but
the
maybe
the
fight a
ones.
maybe fight a kangaroo. Maybe fight a kangaroo.
That's fair. I don't think you're the first person that has said kangaroo.
Yeah, I think that'd be cool. Me and MDK Mike have been talking about it, me fighting a kangaroo. So there you go. Make it happen, people.
So, how do you take your pancakes?
Um, I like blueberry pancakes. I think the new one is like peanut butter, like putting peanut butter on it. That's a
Oh
pretty
yeah.
cool one. Uh, Chocolate chip pancakes are pretty good, but I like the classic. I like the classic pancake. Like, it's got the golden brown look. It's got butter in between, and then you put a little syrup on top, and you're good to go. So I was like, I'm more of like a. I'm not that big into pancakes and waffles. Like I can eat pancakes and waffles, but if I like eat it, I gotta have something with it too. So like I'd rather like I gotta have eggs of some sorts. Always gotta have eggs. It's like eggs and spinach is like two biggest things for me. I've kind of cut away from bacon and sausage, which I'm totally okay with, but I do like that as well. And yeah, I like pancakes, or waffles. But I gotta have something with it, at least eggs. If not, I won't be that happy.
Okay. Yeah, this is a
Yeah, I got
dream
coffee with it
breakfast.
too. Coffee's a big thing. I literally consist of a pot of coffee a day. Probably I have a problem. I
The problem
literally
is
a
that you
pot of
don't
coffee.
have enough
Like a
coffee.
pot of coffee is gone by noon, like hands down.
So, is that all the coffee you
So
drink, or are you an evening coffee guy?
I've done it before. I try not to because then I stay up all night. I already have enough problems sleeping, so a good decaf coffee's not bad.
So, I'm gonna paint like a scene for you. So, like, imagine if you will, you decide
Okay.
that you're hungry and you want something sweet, and you're walking down the aisle in the store, and you're like, I want a cookie, and not only do I want a cookie, I want
Fruit
America's favorite
gushers.
cookie. No, there's a specific question that's coming. Although I do appreciate a good fruit
Okay.
gusher.
Yeah.
So you decide in this imaginary scenario, you decide you want cookies, and you decide you want America's favorite cookie, which is the Oreo. Are you going to, when you get to the aisle, you see all of the varieties, and you decide that you just want to go with like a regular like chocolate cookie cream Oreo? Are you going to go single stuffed or double stuffed?
Does it have to be Oreos?
In this very specific instance, yes, because the actual question here
Um,
is, are you a single stuffed
it's
Oreo
got to
guy
be.
or a
It's.
double stuffed Oreo guy?
I mean, I like double stuff, so I guess I'm double stuff.
Hell yeah. If you could pick any cookie, what would you pick?
I think that like coconut, whatever it's called, like the old like I forget what it's called. It's the the elf people make it. What is it called? Do you know?
The Keebler? I
Yeah,
coconut.
Keebler. They make those like they make that like that coconut one. It's like a Girl Scout cookie. I
Okay,
forget
okay.
what it's called.
That's what I was gonna ask. If it was like the caramel delights or Samoas, depending on which bakery you get
Yeah,
your Girl
that one.
Scout cookies from.
The Samoan cookies. Yeah, or
Those are
Samoa
legit.
cookies, whatever it's called. Yeah,
Yeah, I
those
could
are
smash a
great.
box of those.
Yeah, it's either that or like chocolate chip. Those are like the two. Not much of a
So
cookie guy though, believe it or not.
what like what's your go-to if you're not a cookie guy?
Fruit
other
gushers.
than fruit gushers? Do you have a
Yeah,
specific
fruit gushers.
variety of fruit gusher that you prefer?
No, I like all of them. Or I guess like the red ones are fine. But I'd rather have like the tropical like mixed color.
Same. Like strawberry is acceptable,
Yeah.
but why have strawberry when you can have tropical?
Oh yeah, tropical's great. It's just like it's ridiculous. So
Tropical all day. So, what upcoming shows do you have other than, I know there's SCI, but that's not until August. So I know you have probably all kinds of stuff between then and now.
oh yeah, I got IPW on Friday, which is super cool. That'll be fun. It's the Dan Gable Hall of Fame, and that means a lot to me because he's a guy that he's like one of the greatest Hawkeye Iowa wrestlers ever. And he was a coach there, and me being a Hawkeye, and I'm not that version of a wrestler, but a pro wrestler. I think that's cool. Just like like I said, like I'm not a born and bred Iowan, but I'm basically an Iowa now. I've lived here for almost 8 years, maybe longer than that now. It's like 9 years now. It's like 8 years. Yeah, it's like 8 years. But I've lived here for a long time, and I like it. And I bleed black and yellow, even though I haven't worn black and yellow in a hot minute. But yeah, I think it's cool. So I think that'll be sweet. And then Saturday I have SCW in Muscatine, and Muscatine's a pretty good legendary town for wrestling. And then the next week after that, not this week, but next week I have GCW in Atlantic City. That'll be fun. Yeah, it'll be a good time. Those are the things the next 2 weeks.
Sounds like you have a lot going on. But
Always busy, Val. You cannot be. If you're a pro wrestler, you ain't busy. There's something wrong with you. Maybe you shouldn't be in the business.
fair enough. I mean, got to do it while you can, right?
Yeah.
So that is all of my questions, but I defer to my partners in crime here for questions from the chat.
There are no partners in crime here, Val.
What are you trying to say?
I don't know. We're like your third or fourth or fifth or sixth favorite people, but that's a talk for another day.
Damn.
That's not true.
Damn.
That's absolutely not true.
That's talk for another day.
My second and third favorites. Second and third favorites.
They're just shitting on you, Val.
This is what I put up with
every day.
I think they're waffle eaters, aren't they?
I bet they are.
A French toast eater, actually.
There you go. Okay, French toast is all right.
See?
Yeah, better than waffles.
I like all of it.
True.
Though. I like all of it though. You can't be select.
Anything with syrup.
I like it all.
Is what I say.
Anything with syrup.
Anything with syrup is good for me. But we do have some questions from the chat.
Let her rip.
We're gonna go to our friend here, Christopher. He wants to know, if you're not driving, what side of the car are you sitting on?
I'm definitely a co-pilot kind of guy too. I never sit in the back. Can't sit in the back. If I don't sit in the back, I get sick. And as of late, I'm a truck guy, so like I always drive my truck places. Like if I'm sleeping in or if I'm in a car, it's just weird to me. So, yeah.
Nice. Okay, so we have in the chat another wrestler that came through Black and Brave.
Oh, okay.
It's Mad Mike, aka Perfection. He wanted to say hi, and he wanted to know, do you remember him from Class 13?
I sure do. Hope he's doing well.
So there you go. And now he had a follow-up question a little bit later on, and he asks, when will there be a Manders versus Perfection match?
Hopefully sooner rather than later. he's a guy, right? Like I was class A, he's class 13. So that's about what 3 classes in 1 year. So 2, 3. So like a year difference. So year and 3 months difference. So oh man, put your boots on, saddle up. Like anytime, anywhere, man. You're the one that wants to, call the shots. Let's go.
There you go, Mike. There you go.
There you go, Mike.
Okay, we got another one. Papa Kenway asks, when are you coming back to St. Louis?
Papa Kenway. That's my guy right there. The story for him, from him is like Matt Kenway, his son. I guess he's back in wrestling. I think if I'm right. He took me under his wing, and I slept at his house for like 5 days, and we were doing some seminar, and Papa Kenway was like super nice, made eggs, made food for us, all that stuff. He was really nice, and ever since then we've had a good bond. And St. Louis is only less than 3 hours. It's about like 3 hours away from me, and it's one of like my favorite places to wrestle. And I don't know, man. I hope soon. St. Louis Anarchy, what's up? I don't know. I heard they had a good time the other day. So I was in Chicago and I had a fun time too there too. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully sooner rather than later.
There you go. Now we just got another one. Our friend Will, Weapon X, wants to know, more importantly, when do you come back to Ohio?
Shoot, man, AIW, baby. That's for the brand, I would say then. So hopefully soon.
There you go. Everybody, put in some good words wherever you want Manders to come show up. Let these promotions know. Okay,
yeah,
we're gonna go
everywhere.
There you go. At anywhere and everywhere. Okay, Wrestling with the MMA wants to know. Now this question is a little bit out there. I had to get confirmation on what he was asking. If you could wrestle any historical figure, who would it be and why?
Historical figure, so it's got to be somebody from the past.
So, like if you wanted to, you could wrestle George Washington.
Oh shit! I think Davy Crockett would be cool.
Ooh.
Or no, even better, Buffalo Bill, because he's from Eau Claire, Iowa.
Okay.
And he's like a Western legend, so I would say him. I'd say
Nice.
Buffalo Bill, or like John Wayne. I guess that's not really historical; he's an actor, but like
That's okay.
yeah, I would say those guys, or like a Clint Eastwood, or like the Man with No Name, or like I guess now we're going to movies. We're not even going historical anymore. But historical, I would go Buffalo Bill.
Okay. Christopher, we're going back to Christopher. We're going to go to a food question here. What's your order at the Cracker Barrel?
So obviously breakfast. That's me. For sure, I'm totally getting 2 eggs, 2 strips of bacon, and then good old golden hash browns. Put a little bit of salt and pepper on it. If I was home, I would do lemon pepper, but that's a song for another time. And then whatever kind of hot sauce they got, and large black coffee, man, and a side of water. Good. That's what I want. Keep it simple.
Nice. Are you a breakfast for dinner kind of guy?
I am totally a breakfast all day, every day guy. If I could eat breakfast 3 times a day, I totally would.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's like the best meal. It's the best
Yeah,
meal. So
it's awesome.
So that's all the questions that I saw from chat. So Mr. Christopher,
was there any like weird ones, like ones that are like, oh, that was too bad, or what, anything like that?
No, not that I saw.
Damn.
Not that I saw.
Damn. Those
Not
are my
that
favorites.
I saw.
Those are my favorites. It's like
So-
the super weird ones.
If I saw one, I definitely would have asked it. I probably, if it was really bad, I probably would have tweaked it a little bit, but we were good.
Yeah.
Everybody seemed to be pretty tame in the chat tonight.
Oh damn, that's not fun.
So Christopher, let's load up the intro to the lightning round. And Mr. Manders, are you ready for the worst segment? nature outside right now is setting the scene for us as apparently we're getting a storm here in central Pennsylvania. So,
Hey, I'm getting a big storm here in eastern Iowa, so I get it.
man, it's crazy. Okay, Christopher, we're ready to go. Manders, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, question number 1. Favorite summer activity?
Tanning.
What's your spirit animal?
A horse.
What's the one thing that annoys you most?
Lying.
What TV sitcom family would you be a member of?
Family Guy.
You mentioned Maryland earlier, so I gotta ask: crab cakes, yes or no?
Crab cakes. That's what crab cakes and football. That's what Maryland does.
Hell yeah. Favorite place you've vacationed?
Virgin Islands.
How do you like your steak cooked?
Medium. Sometimes medium rare. Depends.
What's the last band or artist that you listened to?
Shit. I just worked out. Was it Corrosions of Conformity? I think I said that wrong. I could be right.
Corrosion of Conformity?
Yeah, Corrosion of Conformity. Yep.
I like it. I like it. Okay. iPhone or Android?
iPhone.
And now, last question. We all know what they really are, but tomatoes, do you classify them as fruit or a vegetable?
It depends how you eat it.
Ooh, okay.
If it's like a salad, I think it's a vegetable. But if you're doing it in like some sweet sort of way, I would say it's a fruit.
Okay. So like a
Weird.
peach salsa.
Yeah, I would classify that as a tomato as a fruit at that point.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you survived the 10 questions. We made it through. Val, it's back to you.
Well, this has been a delight. I'm so glad that you agreed to hang out with me tonight and answer a bunch of questions.
I had fun. I had a good time when we were in Omaha. So yeah.
It was so nice to meet you. You were so wonderful and personable, and I'm really glad that I got to meet you, and I'm glad that you decided to do this with me. So this has been The Stack. I'm Val Pancakes. This has been the one called Manders. And where can people find you on Twitter, Instagram, anywhere else? OnlyFans, TikTok? I don't know what y'all people do.
I definitely don't have a TikTok or OnlyFans. I should maybe do an
Missed
OnlyFans
opportunities.
though, for all the weird stuff I get. But me, whatever. Anyway, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at the number 1 called _Manders. Or if you type in Manders, or I think the new title I put now is Manders of the West, like Man of the West. I've been watching a shit ton of westerns lately. So there you go. I got some merch stuff, pro wrestling tees, Deathmatch Worldwide, mdkalldday.com, and what else am I missing? Is that it? I think that's it. Yeah, those 3. So if you guys are looking for t-shirts, there's this new t-shirt I have. It's Death by Lariat. I might call it that now as a move. So yeah, go buy it, man. That'd be sweet for me. And yeah, there you go.
Buy the merch. So, and make sure to catch the Scenic City Invitational, which is August 6th and 7th, and that is airing live on the award-winning IWTV network.
Hell yeah, that'd be fun.
So thank you for joining me tonight.
Yeah, you're welcome, Val. Appreciate you.